of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. And good afternoon, my name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this 13th day of July 2021. We go back to Sunday, September 25th, 1949. There is 7 days to go in the 1949 season. We know that the New York Yankees are going to the World Series. They clinched 8,000 weeks ago. We don't know whether the Brooklyn Dodgers or the St. Louis Cardinals are going to win the National League. I know what happened with the Dodgers today. I'll tell you in the fourth inning what the Dodgers did today as we focus on the Cardinals on a rainy afternoon here at Sportsman's Park. It only took us 149 games to get the Cubbies on the channel, but if you're a Chicago Cubs fan, it's your day as they play foil to the St. Louis Cardinals. St. Louis, 87-61, go with Harry the Cat Burkeen, looking for his 15th win of the year. The Cubs, well, it's 1950 already, and they're going to go with Schmitz. And when you're out of Schmitz, you're out of beer. No, not really. So that's the setup for you. It's the Cubs and the Cardinals, with the Cubs in the role of spoiler. The Cardinals, I believe, are playing their last home game of the year. They go on to Pittsburgh and Ralph Kiner, who we'll see tomorrow at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. But for today, and today only, it is the Cubs and the Cardinals from Sportsman's Park. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 49, the Pennant Chase, today from a rainy Sportsman's Park in St. Louis, Missouri. It is the St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago Cubs, and today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, not all one word, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. And we say hello to Harry Burkeen. The Cat takes his warm-up tosses in the rain. He is making his 29th start of the year. Somehow, in the next 7 days, he makes 2 more starts, scheduled anyway. He is 14-8 with an ERA of 3.89. He is a Bugs Bunny fastball pitcher at 82 miles an hour and is 34 years old. In a game that the Cardinals have to win, regardless of what the Dodgers did, you got to beat the Cubs, and he is kind of a mixed bag on that. 4 previous starts against Chicago, 32 innings, 27 hits, 11 runs, only 6 earned. He's walked 9 and struck out 16. He is 2-2, but the ERA of 1.69 against the Cubs. So again, there's a good reason why wins and losses may not matter as much. He has pitched well against Chicago, but hasn't had the results you would think he would get against the Cubs. Yeah, that's a long, convoluted sentence. His last time out was a start against the Giants on the 14th, so he's on 11 days rest. But he got Christmas treed in that start against the Giants. The good news is there was no decision. The bad news was he only went 6 2/3 innings, allowed 8 hits. I think we did this game. 8 runs, all earned. He walked 5 and struck out 1. So overall, 203 2/3 innings, 219 hits, 17 home runs allowed, 98 in total. 88 of those were earned. He's walked 64 and struck out 83. It is raining lightly here in St. Louis. The wind is blowing right to left at 7 and 78 degrees. So a warm, wet day in a pretty full ballpark here in St. Louis. Hal Jeffcoat will lead off for the Cubs in right field. Reich. It's not a great name to have in 1949. At first base will bat second. Andy Pafko, better known as card number 1, is in center field, will bat third. Hank Sauer in left will clean up for Chicago. Bob Sheffing is behind the plate. He'll bat fifth. Serena, my name is not Williams, will play third and bat sixth. Roy Smalley, you know his son, is at short, will bat seventh. Emil Verban at second, will bat eighth, and Schmitz will pitch, throw 120 pitches, and bat ninth. Thank you, Jamie. Jamie offers congratulations on 1,000 subs. I'm now at 1,020. At 1,020 here on Twitch, I'd be rolling in the money. But thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Defensively for the Cardinals, it'll be Enos Slaughter in left. He's a 5 and a 4. Chuck Deering in center, a 6 and a 6. Sam Usual, a 9 and a 7 in right. Tommy Glaviano is an 8 at third. Marty Marion, the 1944 National League MVP, is a 9 at second. Red Shane Dean is a short rather. Red Shane Deans is a 9 at second, and Sergeant Bilko, Phil Sivers, no, it's Steve Bilko, was a 4 at first. Del Rice behind the plate, a 5 and a 4, and Burkeen an 8 on the mound with a 933 fielding percentage. Hal Jeffcoat steps in with a 10-game inning streak at 239, 6 homers, and 36 RBI. The Cardinals are 87 and 61. The Cubs are 55 and 94. What do you think St. Louis has to do? Yeah, you know what they have to do. They have to win. Pitch to Jeffcoat, ball 4. Not what Burkeen wanted, a 3-0 low and away on the fastball. Brings up Herman Reich. Herman at 291. 4 triples, no homers, and 40 RBI. Throw to first. Jeffcoat is back. The Cubs have nothing to lose. With a week to go, they're probably going to avoid 100 losses, too. Pitch out. Rice throws down to Shane Deans, and Jeffcoat is in there. So even with the pitch out, Jeffcoat with his 14th steal of the year and a 1-0 count, and now we'll work on the Rice. Here's a bunt. Rice will pick it up. He throws to Shane Deans covering for the out. So 2-4 on the sacrifice. 1 out for card number 1, Andy Pafko. Andy at 266. 19 homers for the Cubs and 93 RBI. And if you're not familiar with why I'm calling him card number 1, well, the infamous Topps 1952 set, really the first modern, well, it's Topps' first full issue set, and really considered by a lot, outside the Bowman, the first modern sets made. Andy Pafko was card number 1 and series number 1, so Pafko, there's a lot of those cards flying around, and most of those found their ways into your great-grandfather or grandfather or father's bicycle spikes. Pitch to Andy. There's a base hit left field. Jeffcoat will score. Slaughter throws it in, and it's 1-0 Chicago. So Ben will bring up Hank Sauer. Hank at 299. 24 homers. Cubs could hit. I don't think they could pitch, but they can hit. 78 RBI. 1-0 Cubs in the first inning. Struck him out. Burkeen got him to swing and miss on an 0-2 fastball. 2 out for Bob Scheffing. Or Schiefing. Not Bob Schieffer. 276, 2 homers, and 14 RBI. Burkeen from the stretch. Ground ball up the middle. Marion underhands it to Shane Deans, and that will retire the side. Cubbies get a run on a hit and leave a runner on after half an inning. It's the Cubs 1. Here come the Cardinals. And Johnny Schmitz, with the nickname of Bear Tracks, will try to say that name slowly. Making his 30th start of the year. He is 10-14 with a 4.02 ERA, so not bad numbers. 28 years old. The lefty is a fastball pitcher and a ground ball pitcher at 85. Against St. Louis, this is his 5th start. 25 innings, 27 hits, 8 runs all earned. He's walked 16 and struck out 12. 1-1 the record here against the Cardinals with an ERA of 2.88. His last start or appearance, was on the 20th, so a full rest against Brooklyn. A no decision. Boy, that's tough. 6 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He walked 3 and struck out 5. So overall, 208 innings, 221 hits, 12 homers, 111 runs in total, 93 of them earned. He walked 103 and struck out 83. This will be the lineup he'll face. Chuck Deering back in the lineup for the Cards. He'll lead off in center field. Red Schoendienst back to second. He'll bat second. Stan Musial cleans up in right field. Ina Slaughter in left will clean up. Steve Bilko, one of the original Los Angeles Angels, is at first and will bat fifth. Marty Marion at short will go sixth. Del Rice gets the call behind the plate. He'll bat seventh. Tommy Glaviano at third will bat eighth. And Burkeen, who threw 18 pitches in his half of the first, will bat ninth. Bilko had the dubious honor of hitting over 300 homers in the minors. Back-to-back years of 55 and 56 in the Pacific Coast League. Now, Jamie, was he with L.A. in the PCL as well? Almost makes me sound like a poet. Hank Sauer is a 7-7 in left as we set the Cubs defense for you. Andy Pafko a 7-7 in center. Hal Jeffcoat, I almost said Jim, 6 and a 5 in right. And so, yeah, Bilko was with the Angels all the way. How about that? Serena is a 4 at third. Roy Smalley an 8 at short. Emil Verban is a 6 at second. Reich is a 7 at first. Sheffing is a 5 and a 5 behind the plate. And Johnny Schmitz is an 8 on the mound with a .947 fielding percentage. Deering steps in at .327. 4 homers and 37 RBI. Schmitz delivers, and there's a fly ball shallow center. Pafko rides the Schwinn, 1 out. Here's Schoendienst, red at .295. 2 homers and 67 RBI. Magnificent year for Schoendienst. Schmitz, ground ball to first. Reich is there. And he'll take it to the bag himself, 2 out. Stan Musial at .311. 28 homers, 112 RBI, and 44 doubles. Be interesting to see the OPS leaders when all is said and done, because the league caught up with Jackie Robinson. Pitch to Stan. There's a little nubber that hits the mound. Smalley on the grass. It's a wet ball. He throws to first, and Musial is out. What a throw by Smalley to get Stan, the man. He wasn't that time. After 1, no runs, no hits, no errors. It's the Cubs 1, the Cardinals nothing. So it's Bill Serena. Bill is 4 for 17 with a homer and 4 RBI. With only 3 watching, I think I can read that when we start the next half inning. Bill a third, only had 37 at-bats on the real year. Burkeen starts the second with a pop-up. Schoendienst, 1 out. Here's Roy Smalley. You know his son. 243, 14 homers, 10 triples, and 23 doubles. He drove in 75, which is 40 more than real life. Burkeen winds and deals, and Smalley draws the walk. Roy looked at a full count fastball, 1 out, for Emil Verban. At .323, no homers, 12 doubles, and 25 RBI. Here's a ground ball to first. Bilko, only play is to underhand it to Burkeen for the out. So Smalley, 2 out, moves to second for Johnny Schmitz. 164, 2 triples, and 6 RBI. 1-0 Cubs, second inning. Schmitz into center field. Deering going back will make the catch, and that will retire the side. Cubs strand the runner on the walk. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom of the second, it is the Cubbies 1, the Cardinals nothing. brings up Enos Slaughter, Steve Bilko, and Marty Marion. Slaughter at 353, 41 doubles, 11 homers, and 78 RBI. Thank you, Todd B. And yes, it certainly was those UVM basketball games that put me over the top for 1,000 subs. What was the who can hit a righty? What was the other thing you said? It was funny. It was really funny. UVM basketball games and something else. Schmidt starts the second with a line drive to center field. Pafko will make the catch. How about that? 1 out. So here is Steve Bilko. Oh, he looks so baby-faced. The train sim videos. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Bilko is all of 20 years old here, making his 1949 debut. Humphrey is his nickname. 5 for 17 with 2 RBI in real life. He would play with both the PCL Angels, as Jamie told us, and the American League Angels, and was a decent player with the American League Angels. I wonder, considering that the Pacific Coast League was a big deal on the West Coast, was the TV character Sergeant Bilko, played by Phil Silvers, or You Never Get Rich, I believe was the original name of the show. I wonder if that was based off of Steve Bilko. No, I've not stooped to Dave's level of cleaning out your stained plasticware. Although, you know what? He got a lot of views for that. Pitch to Bilko is a ground ball to short. Smalley over to first. Oh my goodness, to Tribe fan and Todd B in the same video, in the same stream. 1 out, or 2 out. The Floby video should have gotten us that. That was classic. Got thrown off the air for that, too. Or battles with banners. You know, some people have your cousins. You know, some people have Battle of the Bands videos. You remember those. I have battles with the banners. And you can see how tightly I have the ABC Sports banner bolted to the wall. Marion at 280, 12 homers and 71 RBI. 2 out, nobody on, bottom of the second. Cubs and Cardinals, and Marion strikes out. He swings and misses on a 1-2 fastball, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. The Cardinals have nobody left on. After 2, 1-0 there. Yeah, your favorite videos when Emily the cat closed down everything? She's good at that. Everything being on key presses. She doesn't know which key to hit. She just walks across all of them. So Burkeen is opening 9 on 32 pitches, 2 innings. A hit, the earned run in the first. He's walked 2 and struck out 1. Jeff Coate walked, stole second, and scored his first time up. Burkeen's pitch. There's a fly ball deep left field. Slaughter goes in the bullpens in the foul territory. 1 out. Herman Reich. Sacrifice bunt his first time up. Pitch from Burkeen. And Reich up the middle. Shane Dietz in front of the bag at second. Over to Bilko for the out. 2 out. Brings up Andy Pafko. Andy with an RBI single. He's driven in 94 this year. In real life, he drove in 69. And there's a fly ball right center field. Musial will get that. And he makes a diving catch on the wet grass to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom of the third inning here. In St. Louis, 81 degrees, a light rain. It's 1-0 Cubs. So Rice, Glaviano, and Burkeen to face Johnny Schmitz here in the third. Rice at 273, 2 homers and 31 RBI. And Dell sends this one into left field. Sauer back to the track, and he'll make the catch. 1 out. I gave you a schedule next week of what A or B would be, World Series or playoff. But I hadn't counted on the fact that we still might be playing real regular season games. All I know is that when we get to the World Series, that the odd number games will be at lunch and the even number games will be at night. I was actually playing with that there. It's going to be 2nd and 10 is going to be the football game of choice this year, Todd. And I'm toying with a couple ideas for seasons. Flaviano, by the way, 291, 3 homers and 29 RBI. But there will be a football season this year. Pitch to Glaviano, struck him out. He got him to swing and miss an 0-2 curve. And that'll bring up Burkeen Harry at 250, 20 for 80, a triple, and drove in 7. Burkeen already looks like a grandfather in that picture, doesn't he? Oh, 32 years old. Yeah, Jamie, I did the 2006 Rose Bowl the other night just to see how it would work. And it came out well, and that was a heck of a football game. Pitch to Burkeen is he reaches. It's a single. Okay, let's call this one. It's a line drive to right. It'll drop in front of Jeffcoat, and that's the first hit for the Cardinals. There, we made up for that. So a 2-out single brings up Deering, who's 0 for 1. Opening 9 for Schmitz. 38 pitches, 9 batters, 2 2/3 innings, a hit and 2 strikeouts. I'm not opposed to doing that. A short replay basketball season. Good. You got my email? Bounce an idea off me and I'd listen. Pitch to Deering. There's a line drive base hit. Past the diving Smalley. Burkeen goes to 3rd. Cardinals have runners on the corners for Shane Dienst, who's 0 for 1. Second hit for St. Louis. Runners on the corners. They have a greatest team set. I might do a playoff or a tournament. Here. Let me type something in the box here. I'm not going to read that out loud, but you know what it is. Shane Dienst is 0 for 1. And Red draws the walk, so the bases are loaded for Stan Musial. A 3-0 breaking ball missed high and away. And that'll bring up Stan. That last base hit must have been... Yes, it certainly was not only a glitch in your Dumont set, a big screen of 9 inches, but ruptured. Let me do this in Scully. Not only did it disrupt the latest set from Dumont, a 9-inch big screen, but ripped a hole in the space-time continuum. So Jean-Luc Picard and Captain Kirk actually got to meet for that 1 second on the deck of the Enterprise. There. Here's Musial. Stan is 0 for 1. Bases loaded. Burkeen on 3rd. Deering on 2nd. Shane Dienst on 1st. 1-0 Cubs. Bottom of the 3rd inning here in St. Louis. Pitch to Musial. And Stan sends this one into right field. Jeffcoat will get there, and the Cardinals leave him loaded. How about that? They finally get a couple of base hits, but can't do anything with them. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. They leave on all 3, and we go to the 4th. 1-0 Chicago. Harwell's voice I have a harder time with, because he did a beautiful, southern accent and stuff. It'll be Sauer, Sheffing, and Serena here in the 4th. And I tend to be nasally anyway. All right. On camera for this. Okay, so I played earlier the Brooklyn, had the computer sim the Brooklyn-Philadelphia game. And I'll show you the standings in a minute. But the magic number does not change. It is still 4. As Andy Semenuk's solo home run for the Philadelphia Phillies in the 4th was the only run of the game. Ralph Branca pitches a complete game and loses 1-0 to Kenny Heinzelman. The Phillies beat the Dodgers 1-0 in Brooklyn. So the magic number remains 4. And when I show you the standings in a second, the margin is down to 2 games. So tomorrow, we will have the Cardinals and the Pirates, because that'll get everybody back on cycle. Everyone will have 6 games or 5 games or whatever to go after that. So the Cardinals and the Pirates will put the Cards and Dodgers on the same game number. No makeup game required. And then we'll just kind of bounce back and forth the rest of the way. Also, if Ralph Kiner does not homer today, when we do the rest of the games after the game, he is one off the National League record set by Hack Wilson in 1930. Now, I know the record's been smashed that. So, Kiner has 55 homers. The NL record is 56. And so if Kiner can hit 2 in the last week, he'll get to 57, set the National League record. And he still has an outside shot at Babe Ruth's 60. So all that to look forward to. So now the standings, but we'll tell you, the Dodgers lost to the Phillies 1-0 in Brooklyn. And so the magic number remains 4. And at the moment, the spread is 2 games. And just in case you didn't believe me, here it is. So we are back on cycle for at least there. The Dodgers have played their last home game. That was the home finale. If they go to the World Series, they would play games 3, 4, and 5 in Brooklyn. They will finish on the road, and so will St. Louis, as this is their last game at Sportsman's Park. They go to Chicago and Boston to finish their season. The American League, the Yankees, who cares what they're doing? They're going to win. They've won the American League. The Red Sox are now storing up a pace, but it won't matter. Washington had no record. Washington's record, if you leave the division, 67-80. They outdid their real life record by 17 games. They were only a 51 team in 49. All that said, here, Sour Hank is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up as we start the 4th inning. Sour, ground ball to Marion over to first. 1 out. Here's Sheffing, he's 0 for 1. So the scenario for next week is either we finish the regular season. 20 would be nice. They'd have to win 3 the last week of the season to do it, Jamie. We either finish the regular season, do an NL playoff. Remember, that's a best of 3. It's not a one-gamer. Game 1 would be here in St. Louis. Games 2 and 3, if necessary, would be in Brooklyn. Or we start the World Series. That will not be as played. First of all, because the Yankees won it in 5. And second of all, it will go with the number 1 starters based on replay, not in real life. So, pitch to Sheffing is a pop-up, right side, Bilko. In the foul territory will make the catch for the out. 2 away. Here's Bill Serena. He's 0 for 1. So any number of those scenarios, depending how long the Cardinals and Dodgers string each other along. Got him! So Serena looks at a 2-2 fastball in there at the knees for strike 3. Mike from the truck, how are you? Bottom of the 4th, 1-0 Cubs. So Slaughter, Bilko, and Marion to face Schmitz. I saw Mike ask, and I'm curious to see what project you were doing. Mike on, I think, Sports Sims and Replays, or our board, Digital Dice on Facebook, asked if anybody had a copy of IBM Pro League Baseball from 1994. And I got a story about that, because I had that game. Slaughter hits a fly ball, pop-up, left side, Smalley into foul territory, and he will made the catch, 1 out. Brings up Bilko, who's 0 for 1. Oh, you have it. How? Well, it had every season from 1901 to 1994. Where'd you score that, Mike? Where'd you find it? Did you actually have the CD? It was an offshoot of Micro League Baseball, 01 to 95. Oh, you had the DVD, you bum. I had the CD. I bought it at KB Toys, and I learned about how CDs weren't supposed to scratch? Well, BS. It was actually made by the same guy that made NFL Pro League Football. I played the dickens out of that game. And so I had it, and it got scratched, and I couldn't play it anymore. So you picked your pitch, and accurate cartoon stadiums, it was ahead of its time, for sure. Great, great game, and you could do whatever. Why did you think Pro League Football was much better, Jamie? And did they have all the seasons, too, for that towards the end? Anyway, I tried to find it and couldn't. Pitch to Bilko. Steve draws a walk. Second walk by Schmitz. Here's Mary, and he struck out his first time up. It would run in DOS box. It was not made for Windows. It was a DOS base. It was at the end of the DOS era. So if you have DOS box, you're not out of beer. 61 through 94, because they stole the same information out of the Pro Football Encyclopedia that we all did. 95 was made up. Did they have the AFL with that too? Or just the NFL? They had off from 64. Pro League Football was great. AFL and NFL. That's awesome. And 60 was a 12-week year. It was the last year. The Cowboys were an expansion team in 60 and played the rest of the league once. In 61, they finally went to the 14-week regular season. It's always been a 20-game season, to be honest. But there were six. But there was to just keep cutting the amount of preseason games or exhibition games. Pitched a throw to first. Bilko back. One out. Bottom of the fourth. Marion struck out his first time up. They based the engine off of a 16-week season, 78 forward. And all the 14-week season stats are increased by 2/16. How does that work in DOS box? And what are you doing in the baseball game that you wanted it for? That was just a great game. Pitch to Marion. Ball 4. So Schmitz loses Marion. He's walked 2. Here's Rice. He's 0 for 1. Works great in DOS box. Awesome. The version I found on the abandonware sites was from 92. I would grab that game, the version I had on CD. It was awesome. It really was. At the time, it blew me away. Pitch to Rice, who's 0 for 1. There's a ground ball to short. Smalley deep in the hole. Verban for 1. Over to Reich. That's 2. So 6-4-3. On the double play, no runs, no hits, no errors. We've played 1-0 Cubs. What made Pro League Baseball so good was that every stadium was drawn. It was actually more graphic driven than this. You got all the seasons on CD. It was a great prize. And so when you called for the pitch, the play always started with the pitcher's point of view. And then went to the overhead shot like this for the graphics. So it's amazing that, 26 years later, we haven't gone forward in graphics. Here's Smalley. Roy walked his first time up. Pitch from Burkeen is a ground ball to Bilko. Takes it to the bag himself. 1 out. Yes, my cat draws better graphics than Stratomatic, Todd, but you're right. Here's for a band. Emil is 0 for 1. I think the baseball game I'm describing wasn't what you had, Jamie says. Maybe only into football unless there was I think it was 94, 95, and I think it was like $30 at KB Toys. A programmer told me that when IBM bought the distribution rights, they wanted to sell everything, all seasons, and abandoned a single season or buying decade discs. They wanted a blam of a sale. They got one. The one you find on the abandonware sites is from the 92 season. And it's that mix between Micro League and what IBM would do. It was just one of those, it was kismet for this kid that was still single and out of college. Pitch to Verban is popped up right side. Shane East is there for the out. I found it on eBay, but I don't have a computer with a drive. LaRussa Baseball in their old-time version, great field graphics and animations for the state. The stats are so-so. Here's Schmitz. Johnny's 0 for 1. 2 out, top the fifth. Burkeen's pitch. Schmitz, it's a base hit into right center field. Usual will pick it up for a single. Brings up Jeffcoat. Hal is 1 for 1. He's walked, singled, stolen base, and scored. Burkeen, 66 pitches through 18 batters. 4 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Probably someone's asking if external drives are cheap now. Probably more than I would pay for the game. I'll read that in a second. Oh, okay. I will look. Let me finish the inning and I'll read those 2 things. Pitch to Jeffcoat. Schmitz leads off, and that's strike 3. So Burkeen got him on a breaking ball outside the zone. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Halfway home on a Tuesday afternoon here. It's 1-0 Cubs. All right, before I read the chat, if you joined us late, here's how we got here. The Cubs lead the Cardinals 1-0 here in the bottom of the 5th. The Phillies beat the Dodgers earlier 1-0 on an Andy Semenick solo shot. So the magic number for Brooklyn is still 4, but the margin over St. Louis is down to 2. So this is a game the Cardinals need to win. Andy Pafko singled home Hal Jeffcoat in the first to make it 1-0 Chicago. And the Cardinals left him stranded in the 3rd. Johnny Schmitz, a 2-hitter through 4. He's walked 3. Harry the Cat Burkeen, a 2-hitter through 5. He's walked 2. So Glaviano, Burkeen, and Deering. All right, before this gets lost on the screen, we're talking about micro league and IBM. People complain that when they went back to selling single-season discs, this is Micro League, after the IBM rights were over, they went with Micro League. Micro League was a company without sports. Micro Sports was a company without sports. So it didn't really work all that well. So they worked together briefly. The Micro League went under. It's a wrestling game for Micro League back in the late 80s, too. Jamie says there's a guy on eBay that sells old 90s and some 80s games. He'll send a CD, but also will send you the file. That's cool. I'll have to look for that. I did see it on eBay. You could sim everything so quick, too. It was fast. Todd B. asks, have we ever done a topic on games that are no longer with us? Not really, because Dave really didn't get into the sports simming thing until a couple years ago. So we haven't really lost a lot of things that those of us who played them longer would have done. Pitch to Glaviano, who struck out his first time up. Ground ball to short. Smalley over to first. 1 out. It's a good topic. By the way, our next show starts year 3. It's our 2nd anniversary show. And watch for a surprise with this one, too. Here's Burkeen. Harry singled his first time up. 1 for 1. Ground ball to first. Right. Takes it to the bag. 2 out. But Micro League really kind of got us started, or me started, with the whole sim thing. Hal Richmond. I got to send a note to George Gurney. for show number 100. Although we need to have George on at some point, too. Here's Deering. Chuck is 1 for 2. He's got himself a single. Schmitz threw 18 batters, 73 pitches, 4 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. I know that Kerry Batts is coming back on the show. Once Pro Strategy Football 2022, Mike, or 1? Gets closer to released. Kerry was a wonderful guest. We planned on having Dave on at some point. Absolutely. Pitch to Deering is a ground ball up the middle. Verban in front of the bag. Over to first, and that will retire. Note to it. Yeah, the side. Haha, I was paying attention. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the 6th. Cubs 1, Cardinals nothing. So Reich, Pafko, and Sauer here in the 6th. Herman is 0 for 1 with a sac bunt. Berkeen starts the inning with a line drive left field. That will drop for a base hit. Deering picks it up. And Herman's on first. Brings up Pafko, has an RBI single. 1 for 2. Dodgers losers to the Phillies today, 1-0. So St. Louis has a chance to pick up half a game or a full game on the Dodgers and keep the magic number at 4. Pafko. Line drive foul, third base side. We've talked to Pete a couple of times, and he's kind of deferred it. I'd love to have Hal on. I think we're big enough now, thanks to all of you who've joined our Facebook group. We're close to 800 members on Facebook. You know, that is beyond our wildest dreams. Pitch to Pafko is a ground ball to first. Bilko just takes it to the bag himself, and they get Andy. So Reich will move to second. 1 out. I think Dave Cook and Richard Hanna would be the two, and Hal would be the ones that you'd want on. And Appa John. You know, our most listened to show ever was Mark Zarb. That was fun. That was fun. Hank Sauer is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Yeah, Hanna would be. They create games for niche sports that you would never play. And they're always fun. I'd love to see him do. I know he did a cricket game. It wasn't distributed. I would love to see him do a track and field game. Pitch to Sauer is ball 4. So runners on first and second. Third walk from Berkeen. Here's Bob Sheffing. He's 0 for 2. 1 out, 6th inning, 1-0 Cubs. In a big ball game. Sheffing hits a line drive into left field. That's going to drop for a hit. Reich will hold at third. Slaughter got a late jump. And the bases are loaded. 1 out for Bill Serena, who was 0 for 2 with a strikeout. So Berkeen, with a season on the line, needs to bear down right now. He will get a visit from Del Rice. And now Berkeen from the stretch. Serena, this should be 2. Glaviano to Shane Dienst for 1. The throw to Bilko is in time. And the Cardinals get out of it. 5-4-3. The Cubs threaten but do not score. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Would you play a synchronized swimming or a rhythmic gymnastic game? You'd want to be the ribbon, I know that. With bottom of the 6th, 1-0 Cubs. So let's see. Yeah, hey, we had a bunch of pitchers duels. Let's see what the Cardinals can do. They got lucky in the 6th. They got the pitcher's best friend. Shane Dienst is 0 for 1 with a walk. The pitch to Red. There's a base hit in the left field. Sauer will pick it up. And Shane Dienst will round first and hold. Musial was retired with the bases loaded in the 3rd and couldn't get a run in. We're going to hit and run here. Pitch from Schmitz. Runner goes. Throw down to second, and Red is safe. So the pitch was high for a ball, and Shane Deans gets his 9th steal of the year. So now you got Musial again with a runner in scoring position in a 1-0 game. He's 0 for 2, and they walk him. They will not pitch to Stan Musial. I'm not sure that's the right call there. As the chat says, walk him. I'm playing the Cardinals. Now you face Slaughter with a .352 batting average. He's 0 for 2 today. But with first base open, you get 2, although Musial does not have bad speed. Schmidt's deal. Slaughter into center field. Back goes Pafko to the track. He'll make the catch. Shane Deans tags and goes to third. 1 out for Bilko, who is 0 for 1 with a walk. You got Shane Deans on third and Musial on first. Now, do you steal Musial? I think you do. Jamie says, and it's scary, just think the time between 2021 and 1949 is almost the same as 49 and 1876. Boy, that just, yeah, doesn't that blow you away? Musial's going to steal. Sheffing's throw is cut off. Throw, and he got it. Verban was there, but Musial beat it out. And so he gets his 4th steal of the year, and the Cardinals have the go-ahead run in scoring position for Bilko. Schmidt's pitch. Base hit right center field. Shane Deans scores. Musial scores. The Sergeant has a double, and it's 2-1 St. Louis. Well, sometimes you got to gamble, I think, Todd. It was a gutsy call. But he had a 90. The computer really doesn't consider that runner at first, and so it really is 93% chance you're going to make it. As long as you're not sending both the runners, and if it goes into center field, the run scores. Here's Marty Mary, and Marty has walked and struck out. He's 0 for 1. Ground ball to Schmitz. Over to Reich. And they'll go have an old style. There's 2 out. Here's Rice. Still is 0 for 2. He's grounded into a double play. Steve Bilko, a 2-run double. Makes it 2-1 St. Louis. Rice, base hit right center field. Bilko will round third and score without a throw. And it's 3-1 Cardinals. There's dead ball. And then there is dead ball. Glaviano is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Rice on first. Pitch to Tommy is a base hit up the middle. Rice will go to third. And the Cardinals seem to have broken it in the process of breaking this one open. So Rice on third, Glaviano at first. Burkeen is 1 for 2. 3-1 St. Louis. They have 3 on the board here in the 6th. Burkeen, line drive right to Reich, and that will retire the side. But the Cardinals, 3 runs on 4 hits. Burkeen's giving me the fatigue warning. Eesh. And no errors. We go to the 7th, 3-1 St. Louis. Jamie says, didn't mean to spoil Ron's announcement of 1876 as the next baseball replay. White Stockings win. White Stockings win. Smalley's 0 for 1 with a walk. Roy, ground ball to third. Glaviano across the way, 1 out. It will not be 1876. Just saying. Emil Verban is 0 for 2. They would be all-day games for sure. Midlife Crisis, how you doing? What blows his mind is that I remember 1978, me too, which sometimes feels like yesterday. My grandfather in 78 would tell stories about 1938 like it was yesterday for him. Would tell the same stories so much they feel like your own memories. But yeah, it's one of the things about getting older is that things that you remember. How you doing, Mr. Forsberg? Old hat to you would be like telling stories from 1938. Pitch to Verban, who's 0 for 2, is a ground ball base hit left side. Glaviano should have had it. Tying run at the plate is Johnny Schmitz. See what the Cubs do with Johnny. 1 for 2. 3-1 Cardinals. So if you're a St. Louis fan, you now got the ideal scenario because Philly beat Brooklyn 1-0. On an Andy Semenick solo shot in the 4th. Bob Ramazzotti will pinch hit. Ramazzotti at 178. No homers and 10 RBI. Tomorrow, noon Eastern, it'll be the Cardinals and the Pirates from Forbes Field. Pitch to Ramazzotti. There goes for a band. The throw down to Shane Deans. No, sir. That's number 4 for Emil. Spiders would put together a lot of 8-game losing streaks, but were they even in the National League in 1876? I mean, imagine there was a team in Cleveland, but I'm not sure that they were the Spiders. Pitch from Burkeen. Ramazzotti, it's a ground ball to short. Marion over to first, and they got him there. Verban, 2 out for Jeffcoat. Hal, 0 for 2. A walk and a strikeout. Midlife Crisis is playing a what-if project with 1990 because of a post-World Series interview that Dave Stewart did. Oh, clue me in on that. And I remember that interview like it was yesterday. That's the one the Reds swept the A's in 4. Is it a what-if the Red Sox beat the A's? I'll take that. Jeffcoat, 0 for 2. A run, a walk, a strikeout, and a stolen base. Burkeen through 27 batters, 113 pitches. 6 2/3 innings, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Runner on second is Verban. Pitch to Jeffcoat. There's a fly ball to center field. D-Ring should snare that. He does, and it's stretch time, 3-1 St. Louis. Well, Bob Chipman coming in for the Cubs. He is 6-10 with 2 saves and a Lotto Quebec ERA of 6.49. Sometimes we talk about a pitcher that gets Christmas treed. Here is the Webster's definition of Christmas treed. He was lit right up. 2/3 of an inning 3 days ago against the Phillies. He allowed 9 hits, 9 runs, all earned, and retired 2 batters. 105 in the 3rd innings for Bob, 123 hits, 8 homers, 77 runs allowed, 76 of them earned. He's walked 61 and struck out 42. Fastball pitcher, 86. He's a ground ball pitcher. Stewart said that the Reds wouldn't have made the playoffs if they were in the AL West, so Midlife Crisis swapped them around. Here's Deering, he's 1 for 3. So what game engine are you using, my friend? And I wonder how much the A's would get hurt without the DH. Pitch to Deering is a fly ball to right. Jeffcoat is there. 1 out. For Shane Deans, 1 for 2. A run scored, a stolen base, and a lot of those Reds played their Double-A ball right here in Burlington. Barry Larkin, Scott Terry, Paul O'Neill, Chris Sabo, all played right up the hill. Pitch to Shane Deans. There's a ground ball up the middle. Smiley over to first, and it's 6-3 on the card. At least he keeps the ball in the park. No, but he can't keep it in the gloves of his fielders. 8 homers in 106 innings is still pretty bad for the era. Here's Musial. Stan walked, scored, and stole a base. He's 0 for 2. 2 out, bottom of the 7th, 3-1 Cardinals. Stan, it's a ground ball to first. Reich will take it to the bag himself, and that will retire the side. Chipman gets him in order. We go to the 8th. It's 3-1 St. Louis. So Burkeen, probably his last inning here. It'll be Reich, Pafko, and Sauer. Herman is 1 for 2 with a single. Burkeen starts the inning with a fly ball to center field. D-Ring comes in a tad, 1 out. Here's Pafko. Andy, 1 for 3. He has singled and driven in a run. Action PC is what he's using. My only problem is I have to regularly check usage because the AI likes to platoon 5 games in. Platooning Canseco and Felix Jose. Wow. So you put the A's in the NL West. And Cincy in the AL West. I watch that, but I usually do. Pitch to Pafko is a little number down to first. Bilko takes it himself, 2 out. For Sauer, who is 0 for 2, a walk and a strikeout. So Burkeen trying to nail down his 15th win of the year. Sauer into left field. Slaughter will make the catch, and the Cubs go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 8th here at Sportsman's Park. The rain has stopped. The sun is trying to poke through, and it's 3-1 St. Louis. So Slaughter, Bilko, and Marion. Slaughter is 0 for 3. Why would Action PC put Joe Carbonneau at short, or Charbonneau? If I don't know the line. Yeah. Sometimes the computer will make wacky decisions. Pitch to Slaughter. Ball 4. Now bring up Bilko at the big 2-run double in the 6th, which put the Cardinals ahead. 1 for 2. This is 49 debut. Yeah, you can't use as play because it's a fictional schedule. How do you get around the pitchers not being able to hit? Pitch to Bilko. There's a base hit right field. So Steve goes 2 for 3. Slaughter will hold. You don't make the first out on the bases. Here's Marty Marion. Marty's 0 for 2, a walk and a strikeout. Chipman delivers. There's a ground ball up the middle. Smiley, Verban for 1 over to Reich. That should be 2. 6-4-3. 2 out for Rice, who's 1 for 3. Dale has his 32nd RBI and running into a double play. Action PC without real life usage lineups can go off the rails a lot. Yeah, manual steps with the computer manager. One of the reasons why I do as play, it just makes it so much easier. Computer put Brad Cominsky, wasn't he a center fielder, at short on a double switch. Oi and they. Todd B has to set the lineups and then lets the computer go out there. Pitch to Rice is a ground ball to first, and Wright can't play it. Slaughter will score from third on the air, and it's now 4-1 St. Louis. 2 out. That goes under Wright's glove. And the Cards get a big insurance run. Here's Glaviano. 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. Pitch from Chipman is a little number down to Serena. He goes across the way, and that will be the 3rd out. But the Cardinals get a big run. 1 hit, 1 run, 1 error, 1 scotch, 1 bourbon, 1 beer. We go to the 9th. It's 4-1 St. Louis. And so Burkeen says, I'm done. And so Fred Martin will come in to pitch. He is 4-3 with a save. This is a 3-run lead. It is a save situation. Martin has an ERA of 3.22 and whiskey for your horses. Good for you. He's 34 years old, a fastball pitcher, 82, and a ground ball pitcher. This is his 21st appearance. He has faced the Cubs now 3 times, 3 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. No record. His last time out was at start against the Phillies on the 20th. 9 innings, 9 hits, but just 1 run. It was earned. He walked 3 and struck out 6. So Martin, 67 innings, 70 hits, 28 runs, 24 earned, 19 walks, and 32 strikeouts. Carrying a 3-run lead to need 3 outs. Yep, you don't know what those Fortnite kids don't know what they're missing over here. By the jingo. Sheffing is 1 for 3. He's got himself a single. Martin. And there's a base hit in the left center field. Slaughter will pick it up. Sheffing rounds first and holds. 6 hit for the Cubs. A run on 6 hits for Chicago. The error was big, and they've left on 6. Cardinals, they hope they're done for the day. 4 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. And they've left on 7. Here's Bill Serena. 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Pinch on Smokey Burgess will pinch hit here. Smokey at 178, 188 as a pinch hitter with 4 RBI, 2 as a pinch hitter. Martin deals, and there's a chopper to short. Marion, Shane Dienst for 1 over to Bilko, that's 2. So 2 out, nobody on for Roy Smalley. Midlife Crisis is using real-life transactions, by the way. So far, had to change a set few lineups. The PC is doing okay right now with the rotations. However, it seemed like the Giants that had 2 starters start the season in the DL use a couple of spot starters in relief. So often that Atley Hammaker has started 3 games in 2 days on 2 days rest. Aye. Yeah, you gotta be careful. It's a good game, but you gotta be fussy with it. Breaking into my Gabby Hayes impersonation. So Smalley, last chance saloon here for the Cubs. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Cardinals can knock it down to a 1.5 right here. The pitch. Ground ball to Bilko. Underhands it to Martin. And they get the game back. So in the 77th home game of the year, the Cardinals win it 4-1. That's the home schedule. The Cards and the Dodgers are on the road the last week of the season. Charles Kuralt will have coverage. Or Steve Hartman. So 4 runs, 7 hits, and no errors for St. Louis. They moved to 88 and 61. The Cubs, 55 and 95, a run on 6 hits and an error. Johnny Schmidt's a good outing, 6 innings, 6 hits, but all 3 runs. He walked 4 and struck out 2. Burkeen, a 15-game winner, 8 innings, 5 hits, a run. It was earned. He walked 3 and struck out 3. And Steve Bilko was our digital dice player of the game. His 2-run double in the 6th was the difference maker as the Cardinals go to a 1.5. The magic number is still 4. So tomorrow it'll be the it'll be the Cardinals at the Pirates. The rest of the day in baseball, doubleheader in Philadelphia between the Senators and the A's. And as soon as Game 2 is played, I'll tell you who won. And, nope, the Senators did not improve at all. They get swept by Philadelphia, 9-1 in Game 1. Kellner goes to 13-12. Welteroth, 4-6. Sam Chapman is 27th of the year, 2 for 4 with 2 RBI in Game 2. Lou Brissy gets the win. He goes to 14-7 as the A's beat the Nats 10-3. White takes a loss. Eddie Juiced, 100 RBIs on the year. 2 for 4 is 29th of the year. Doubleheader at Crossley between the Pirates and the Reds. Pittsburgh takes Game 1 2-1 and 10. Murray Dixon goes to 12-11. Waymeyer goes to 4-18. Rastelli is 11th homer of the year, 1-for-1. Pittsburgh sweeps that doubleheader. Lombardi goes to 8-3. Fox falls to 12-14. Final there, 7-6. Cleveland trying to hold second place in the American League. They hold off the Tigers 4-3. Bob Lemon, a 20-game winner, goes to 20-9. Houdeman, 7-14. And Wakefield, 2-for-5, his 8th of the year, and drives in 2. Yankees beat the Red Sox at the Fenway finale in 49. Allie Reynolds goes to 15-8. Mel Parnell, 14-12. Billy Johnson, 3-for-3, 2 RBI, and 2 doubles. Giants beat the Braves 7-6 and 13. Larry Higbee goes to 3-2. Hall falls to 5-4. Wes Westrom goes, 2-for-4 this 5th home run. We told you earlier that the Phillies beat the Dodgers 1-0. Andy Semenick, a solo shot, the only run of the game, is 34th of the year. Ralph Branco falls to 7-10. Ken Heinzelman, a 17-game winner, 17-12. Last but not least, the Chi Sox beat the Browns 4-1. Mario Peretti goes to 5-4. Ferris Fannin falls to 4-16. No Monday games on the schedule. So when we're with you tomorrow, we'll be playing Tuesday the 27th, and we will be at Pittsburgh for the Cardinals and the Pirates at noon Eastern tomorrow. The margin is 1.5 games, and this will be the makeup game to start the last week. I don't know who's going to win. Do you? We'll know more tomorrow if that magic number gets to 3 or holds at 4. We'll talk to you then. Have a great day, everybody.